Hey guys, stupid motherfucker here with another epic YouTube video. This time, we're gonna destroy the orphan. I don't know what I'm going for there. I'm sorry, It wasn't a good idea to go for it in the first place. I apologize. I don't know what that was. The no level up run continues, and listen, this is gonna be the last one, but I want to make something clear. Look, I wasn't even born for when the raid on the fishing hamlet happened. You know, Gurman and his boys went in there, you know, they started to do some highly illegal shit that they shouldn't be doing. I did not take part in that, okay? I wasn't even born. My mom was probably still like a teenager. You know, I had nothing to do with it, is what I'm trying to get at. So, I have video evidence, okay, of this literal old man child. He is literally an old man, but also a child. A baby, really. I have footage of him attacking me, and you're watching it right now, and I am just defending myself. I don't even have any levels. I haven't even leveled up, okay? So, if anything, you guys are my witnesses, right? Okay. Jokes aside, though, that's not really a joke. It's just me being a fucking idiot. Orphan was by far the most difficult fight in the no level up run. This is the one time where I'll say that equipping those extra HP runes, you know, the 10 and the 15, they really did make a big difference, and you will see it. There's times in this fight where I'm gonna be alive by like 2 HP. You know, I'm gonna be left with like 2 HP, 10 HP. You know, you're gonna see it. It's gonna be the magic pixel. So this is the one fight where I highly recommend equipping those. I think you can do pretty well in the other fights, even against Lawrence, I would say, if you're gonna cheese him. With what I showed in my previous video, you should go and check that one if you want. Not the most exciting fight, but, you know, if you're gonna cheese Lawrence, then you don't really need the extra health, I feel like. But for Orphan, in my case, I went with it because, number one, I already had them and I just kind of rolled with it. Number two, because I was taking way too much time on his second phase, which was really the phase that was giving me the most problems. Not because I couldn't learn the moveset, but, well, I'll talk about it later, I guess. Right now, we're going to be dealing with the first phase. And in case you haven't noticed, this is going to be the longest fight of all of them. Of course, because of two reasons. Number one, Orphan, by default, has a fuck ton of health, right? And the other thing is that because I don't level up, or rather I didn't level up for this particular run, of course I'm not going to be doing as much damage as a normal leveled up character would. Not to mention that my choice of weapon, the Beast Cutter, is not the most efficient to be doing this. So if I had a saw cleaver with the Beast Blood pellet and a paper on it, sure, I could see myself doing a shit truck and a half of damage, but I figured, you know, let me just not do that. Let me add the extra layer, excuse me, of a challenge, really, because the Beast Cutter is slow. It takes up a lot of your stamina, especially when you do a charged R2 attack. So you got to be very careful with your stamina management for once, you know, because in Bloodborne, typically you don't really have to care that much for your stamina. You see that damage he did? If I didn't have the HP runes, I probably would have survived anyway, but I would have been left with much less HP than that. So you see the charged R2 into another R2 is the way that I do a big chunk of damage to this guy. So it took me a while to figure out, look at my health, look. See what I mean? My goodness. Woo! Skin of my teeth. Okay, so it took me a while to kind of understand his patterns in his second phase. You cannot really brute force him like you can with Moon Presence, because Orphan hits much harder than Moon Presence. You see that attack where he lunges forward and he fakes you out with a first hit, and then he lunges forward even more with a second hit. Now that attack will one-shot. I have died to that attack more than anything else that he threw at me. And I felt stupid because all you have to do is literally wait for him to throw the first one, which he does specifically to trick you into dodging early, so you can get hit by the second one with counter hit damage, which, well, we know what happens then. You melt into a pile of goo and blood because it one-shots you. Even at higher levels, Orphan counter hit damage is extremely, extremely dangerous. And his second phase, what I wanted to mention earlier, before we even reached the second phase, the main problem really that I was having with him was the second phase. I figured out his first phase fairly quickly. The second phase, the second fucking phase was the problem, because it wasn't really his attacks. It was, how do I say it? His weird, lingering hitboxes. You know, he has a lot of lunge attacks. You know, he lunges forward or he swings around his placenta cleaver, whatever. That would be a cool weapon, actually, the placenta cleaver. I'm actually kind of bummed that we don't get to use Orphan's placenta weapon. I always wanted to use that thing and just, I don't know. But that's just me. So the problem is that he has a lot of sweeping attacks and lunging attacks, and a lot of them are weird because they often hit me. He would often hit me with like his elbow. He would hit me after his attack was done, and he would hit me like behind him when he was attacking forward. And the same thing happens on the first phase, but it's just much more prevalent on the second one. So already I had that issue. So really I just had to fight him over and over and over again until I got down how to really dodge his attacks properly. Now, a lot of times you're going to see me dodge in ways that I have done before, or rather I did before, but the difference between before and the way that I do it now in this video is that in this video I don't get hit, but I would dodge the same way as you're gonna see in this video. You know, I would dodge the same way here as I did in my other previous 100 fights, and he would still hit me with certain attacks. I'm not gonna say that it's random. I'm not gonna say that your survival is depending on how random his weird lingering hitbox is feeling in that particular day. But I will say that sometimes it's very inconsistent. So maybe you're gonna find yourself dying to stuff that didn't really connect physically to your body. But other times you're gonna clearly get hit, but no, you didn't. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna connect, but he's not gonna actually hurt you. See right there, I survived once again with like a pixel. And at this point, I'm not gonna lie, I was scared shitless because I could feel that I could beat him consistently, or rather that I could deal with his second phase consistently. But every time that he would land like a small hit on me, I felt like the fight was over. You know, like he was about to just destroy me. But a key thing, and this really applies to all the other From Software games, you know, from Demon Souls onwards, you gotta stay calm, you gotta stay cool, you gotta remember whatever it was that you were learning. There I was trying to get cheeky and try to maybe catch a backstab when he landed, but he was like, no, you're not. I'm too old and also young for this shit. He's an old man, but it's also a baby. It's kind of weird. It's kind of unsettling, which is great. So I love this boss fight because he's like a hunter. He's also like a hunter. He has his cape. This is the attack you want, by the way. You walk forward and you backstab him. It sounds insane, but it works. So this is the attack that I wait for in his second phase. I didn't want to go for anything else because I felt like nothing was as guaranteed as that particular attack. So that combo that he does, it will stun lock you. You know, you're gonna get hit at least 3 times, and then when he jumps in the air, you have enough time to dodge away. It was completely designed that way on purpose. So you can dodge the last one. But the problem is that on this particular character, getting hit 3 times is death. So I cannot get hit with 3 of those. I can get hit by maybe 2, and I'll be okay. But the 3, nah. It's too much. You can see there I'm fairly consistent with it. Backstabbing with the Beast Cutter is a challenge because it's a vertical hit, not a horizontal swing, which is better because it covers more area. And you don't have to be as specific with your aim. Right there, I should have fucking died, but he didn't hit me. See what I mean? He did the lunge forward, and I was sure that he was going to clip me, but he didn't. So just one of those things. I don't know. It's inconsistent at best. There are ways to do this fight professionally, of course, like all the others, really. I am not a professional. Spoilers. I'm just a guy. I really enjoy this game, and I did this for the first time ever a while ago, and I just figured, hey, fuck it. I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to do it with an inefficient weapon. I'm going to do it without any buffs, because why the hell not? I'm already taking the challenge, right? Might as well just throw some more in there for the hell of it. But yeah, I love Orphan. He's like a weird hunter baby, old man, fetus, man, placenta. He hits hard. He has a lot of similarities with a hunter. His weapon is sort of reminiscent of a cleaver, except the part where it isn't because it's a fucking placenta. But you know what I mean. There's a similarity. Deeply tied with German. You can hear him cry. That's the same cry that German has. Just an overall amazing boss fight, and I consider Orphan of Chaos, really, to be the true final boss of Bloodborne. Not Moon Presence, but the Orphan of Chaos. See there, I can survive that one. You see the damage. Actually, now that I think about it, if I get hit by counter damage by one of those and I get stun locked into the other, I'm dead. But if I don't, maybe I could survive too, maybe. I'm not sure. Either way, this fight is just a fight of, patience, really. It's all about being patient. It's all about having a plan, really. It took me a while to understand his attack pattern on his second phase and when I could backstab him. But really, in the end, I chose to wait for him to do the big thing that you're seeing right now, where he jumps into the air. And there I missed it, and I was scared. I thought I was dead there. Exciting stuff. This is, I think, the most exciting fight of all of them, because I almost fucking died so many times. I have 2 vials left. 2 of them. And if it wasn't for the fact that I'm telling you that I actually beat him, I would like to think that you'd be left wondering, is he actually going to do this? Because he's getting all fucked up. He's destroying you. But man, this fight was really fun to learn for me. I had never studied his moveset before. I kind of brute forced it most of the time. I think most people do. But this time you're forced, when you're doing something like this, you're forced to learn the moveset and just kind of remember the patterns and how to dodge and what are the openings and so on and so forth. But really, I think that Orphan of Chaos provided the most challenge of all the other bosses in the entire game, honestly. Not just because he's a DLC boss and he hits really hard and he can one-shot you, whatever, but his moveset is incredibly diverse, and it really forces you to keep, paying attention to him and not go autopilot. So this is going to be Orphan of Chaos. This is it for the No Level Up run. I hope that within the footage you found something new. Maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't. Either way, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.